watching Numbskull News, and today we're going to talk about the Big 12 and ACC war. It's actually been raging for a while, not unlike the Pac-12 and Big 12 war. Now, this is, that's what I call it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That everybody is perceiving the Big 12 as far as doing the naming rights deal, possible private equity deal, things like that, that they're trying to catch the Big 10 and the SEC, and I don't believe they are. There's really no catching them. Now, if you've got a media rights deal that was close to where they were, that's catching them. But these things aren't going to help you get anywhere close to where Alabama is or any of those other big schools. No, you're not catching them. And that's not what it's about. What it's about is building a war chest to go up against the ACC. Think about it, what Brett Yormark did, because he's the one that brought in the look-in clause of the CFP. Why did he do that? All right, there's not going to be teams leaving the Big 12 for the Big 10 or the SEC. I know that's a rumor that's been out there, but it's horse crap, and there's nothing behind it at all. Now, what is going to happen is Florida State and Clemson are going to leave, and they're going to go to one of the Big Two. All right, my thought process is SEC. But, I explained a little more of that in my previous video. Go watch that crap. There'll be a little link at the end of the video. When Florida State and Clemson leave, that would trigger the look-in. And that's going to affect the CFP payout for the ACC in a big way. And Brett Yormark knows this. That's why he insisted on it. Now, he could say, well, hey, it's about, if we get teams and there'll be a look-in, if whatever, at 2027, there needs to be a look-in because maybe we're winning championships. Look, that wasn't what it was about. It just so happens ESPN, when they pull out of the ACC, that deal is up in 2027. Weird timing, isn't it? Well, not really. It's very purposeful. Brett Yormark knows how to play hardball. He's been doing it his whole career on a major, major level. Whether that was NASCAR, NBA with the Brooklyn Nets. He's been there. He's done it. He knows how to negotiate these things. He knows what to put in to benefit his side. That's what he did. And now he's going to build this war chest. And by the way, I was watching Kuz's Corner. He said something a little bit similar, but pertaining to, hey, maybe he can use some of this money to go out, entice Florida State and Clemson. I don't agree with that. He says there's a chance. Well, that was a comedy, Dumb and Dumber, in Lloyd Christmas when he said you're saying there's a chance. Well, there's not a chance, really. And that's the point. However, there is a chance for Miami. Now, I'll say 80% chance they go to the Big Ten. I'll say 15% chance they go to the SEC. That leaves a grand total of 5% chance for the Big 12. So that is a legit chance. It's better than 0.0001% for Florida State and Clemson to come to the Big 12. That war chest can definitely be used to entice a Miami if the Big Ten doesn't come calling too quick. And they may not. Keep in mind, they may not. If they wait on Notre Dame, Florida State and Clemson decide, they get a chance with ESPN to jump to the SEC, they're not going to wait around. They'll jump when they can jump. And if the Big Ten waits and then doesn't get Notre Dame, are they then going to go get Miami? I don't think they will. Are they going to go get Virginia or UNC? I don't think they will. It depends. If they can get Notre Dame now, then they'll add a 20th team. They're not doing all that. They're not going to 24. They're not doing any of that shit. So get that out of your head if that's what you think. All signs point they're not adding a lot. And I think they're getting to, the Big Ten is getting to where, look, we're not going to add more schools unless Notre Dame is one of them. I believe that's where it's going. And that works to the benefit of the Big 12. Because I don't believe the SEC is really, gun-ho with expansion. If ESPN wants them to do it, they'll do it. For the right schools. Florida State, Clemson makes financial sense. No one else does. Now for the Big 12, Miami, UNC, NC State, Virginia Tech, Louisville, they all make financial sense. Not only for the Big 12, but for ESPN and for Fox. It's not a lot of money Fox has to throw in for some of that content. And it's pretty, it's $20 million a year for ESPN. That ain't bad. So long term, going into a streaming future, that makes great sense. And if you're the Big 12, you want schools with a great basketball program and legacy if you can get it. Huge basketball brands with a nice, decent football program, pedigree, dare I say brand a little bit. And out of everybody, I think Louisville offers the most of that as far as the football side. But they also offer a nice basketball program. It's not UNC or Duke, I'll tell you that, but it's not. It's fine. And it has potential. They have competed on a high level before in the tournament. Louisville has also competed in a big way on the football field. Not every year, not all the time, but they do compete. And Miami's legendary with football. They just are. They've a lot of people like to poo-poo Miami, but Miami is big time. If you can get them, like I said, 5% chance with UNC. UNC out. I think that's going to happen. But I'm the only one saying it. No one else believes the Big 12 has a shot in hell. People think we have a better shot at Florida State and Clemson than we do UNC. And I think that's so freaking backwards, it's not even funny. So, because I'm the only one saying it, I'll put it at a 50-50 with UNC. Because it does startle me a little bit that nobody, and I mean nobody, says we have a shot at UNC. I'm saying that more than likely it's UNC coming to the Big 12. All the financial factors it makes logical sense. You could play fill in the blanks with whatever other teams, right? Pitt, like I said, NC State before, but I think if them and UNC are tied at the hip, hell, Big 12 has no problem taking them both and throw in Duke too. It's just too good of a basketball school to leave on the trash heap. But this war, ACC fans need to understand. We know this wasn't a war you wanted. I don't think it's a war the Big 12 wanted. It's one of those things where we were kind of drafted into it. Here we are. Got to do it. Pitchforks, knives, guns, whatever. But it's here and it's going to happen. And it is happening as we speak. And a lot of you guys, y'all don't understand the advantage the Big 12 has. They've already went through the realignment crap. They've already lost their big blue blood schools. They did. They did the work to replace them, got the media rights deal, got 4 more power conference schools in there. And here you guys are trying to early backfill with Stanford, Cal. Stanford and Cal, who weren't wanted by the Big Ten, who wasn't wanted by the Big 12. SMU was not wanted by the Big 12. They had their shot. We said, no, we'll take Houston. We'll take Cincinnati. We'll take UCF. We'll take BYU. and we left SMU out there. If we're going to add another Texas team, we'd rather have one in the other gigantic freaking metro area of Houston. But like I said, the Big 12 has already went through it, and they've recovered, and now they're able to grow. They're able to look into naming rights deals. They're able to have private equity companies come to them and pitch them. You know, ACC, you're unstable. That's the problem. Your two biggest entities are in court trying to get out. Texas and OU just announced. USC, they just had to announce. There was no court battle. There was none of this embarrassing crap going on. The state that y'all are in, it's just way worse than what the Big 12 had to go through. Because you're in court literally fighting with your two biggest draws. Your biggest ratings draw. Your biggest money draws. Florida State and Clemson. That looks horrendous. There was talk about a Magnificent Seven wanting to get the hell out of there. It's not a good look. It's a worse look than the Pac had. The court stuff to really, between Oregon State, Washington State, and everybody else didn't start till after everybody left. This is before. It's not good at all. And that's going to really limit your opportunities to go out there and try to monetize or go after different revenue streams like the Big 12 is. That's the problem. So what Brett Yormark is doing is trying to put all the pressure on the ACC from the outside that he can by doing everything he needs to do to monetize the Big 12. And you can make fun of us. Oh, what are you going to be, the All-State Big 12? Well, who's going after your naming rights? Nobody. Who's coming in to try to offer private equity money or try to invest in what you're doing? Nobody. Why would they? It's an unstable property. Is it going to be there in a year? Is it going to be there in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Dissolution, death, all of that is very much on the table. No one knows if the ACC is going to survive. And what is survival? Survival is having a group of schools that are going to have autonomous status and a nice media deal. Somewhere in the neighborhood of where what the Big 12 get. As it stands right now, and as we look at what happened to the Pac, if you lose enough schools, all right, Florida State, Clemson gone, okay, but if UNC, NC State, Miami, Virginia Tech, and Pitt are gone, that's not an autonomous conference, and you will lose your autonomous status. You will not be offered any kind of media rights deal that's going to sound appealing to keep any of that together. So that's why I say this is kind of a mirror image of what happened to the Pac. It's happening again. But now it's even worse because it's being, thrown all over the news in an embarrassing freaking way because of the court cases. Like I said, it's worse than it was before. You're fighting losing battles on all the fronts, not just from the Big 12. The Big 12 is more of a sneak attack anyway. But fret not. Fret not. There's nothing wrong with being a G5 conference. What I think the new Pac, it's going to go from Pac-2, and I think they're going to add teams, and I think that has the opportunity to be a really fun league. It'll be basically be a G6 type of league, or still G5, whatever. I don't know what happens to the Mountain West at that point, but I think the Pac is going to be okay. I think they're going to do well. 11, 12, 14, $15 million a year per team, somewhere in that neighborhood. You know, there'll be a step down from the Big 12, a pretty big step down, but a step up from the G5 level. So they're going to be this tweener, if you will. And that's not a bad thing to be. The ACC could get there one day. You can add Tulane and Memphis and South Florida, basically gut the American. Add those schools, add Army. You can do some good things. Combine that with, you know, the Syracuse, the Wake Forest, Boston College, possibly Georgia Tech that's still there, and have a really nice conference and a fun conference, a competitive conference. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the G5 level. The Big 12, sorry, it's going to be an autonomous conference moving forward. It's going to make a lot more money moving forward. 2031, and I mean, according to the private equity firm, they feel our media rights are going to go way the hell up. Especially when you look at what you can do with basketball, especially in the Big 12. So the value is just going to go up and up for us. Is there going to be value for the Big 10 and SEC to move up too? Of course. Of course. As I said before, we're not catching them. But this crap isn't about trying to catch them. It's about securing our spot as the third most powerful conference in all the land. We're on our way. And the ACC is on its way out. There's a whole row of dinosaur bones. They're just waiting to strip the meat off the ACC and throw it in the bone pile. It's what it is. It's a dinosaur. It's going to go away. ACC Network's a dinosaur. Oh, but it's making a little more money right now. Okay. But what's happening to the linear product? I keep saying, it's going down. Every expert out there in the field says you got to find an off-ramp. What is the ACC network? It's a linear product. And especially without Florida State and Clemson, oh, there goes an ass ton of your value there. You're getting hit on every side. Every side. There's no outlook out there where the ACC will keep its autonomous status and will retain enough media rights money to be viable. To be able to keep a Louisville hanging in. To be able to keep a Virginia Tech or a Pitt. And if they have the ability to go to the Big 12, they're going to go. Sorry. But that's the future. It's a war, but it's more of a war of attrition. Big 12, all they're doing is trying to make sure a little bit of this water source is gone. Let's make sure you don't have access to this cornfield over here, so you can, no wheat for you. You know, you can have some of that dirt, but that's it, just to cover yourself with. Sorry, the war's on, and you're losing badly right now. It's the way it is. The way it is. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap, and I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.